Welcome back to channel everyone. In my last video we talked about how to create a modern custom form in Power Apps using new grid container and modern control. In this video we're going to talk about how we can extend this design to a fully responsive one. If I inspect this form, you will see that in the mobile and the tablet screen size the design breaks and it is not responsive by default. And for larger screen size, for large and extra large, it look okay. Now if I click on this plus icon, I have a responsive form that I have built. And if I turn this into tablet screen size, you will see we have a 2-column structure and that's pretty much responsive with a vertical scroll is there. And if we convert this into a mobile screen size, again we have a 1-column structure and the form is fully responsive. So let's just talk about how we can turn this quickly into a responsive design using the same grid container approach. I'll go to my Power Apps. This is the responsive demo which I've already built as a responsive one, and this is our default form which is right now not a responsive one. So we'll turn this form into a responsive one. Just to explain the layout, I have this horizontal container, and inside this I have a left container that is a vertical one for my left navigation. Then we have a right vertical container. Inside this we have header container for these headings. Then I have a main container. Inside that I have put in my grid container where our form resides. So if we talk about this main container, I have turned on the vertical overflow as a scroll, and flexible height is turned off. And height I have set as parent.height minus 40 because 40 is the size of our header. The reason behind to keeping the flexible height turned off is that when this form will turn into responsive for mobile and tablet screen size, all these field will overflow the screen size, and in that case we need a vertical scroll for that. Grid container doesn't have the vertical scroll, that's why we have created this container. And if we go to the main container, and we have kept the height as a parent.height minus 20 for now, but we'll change this dynamically when we turn it to responsive one. And if we go to the child element of this container, you can see I have created a vertical container. Inside that I have label and the controls, similar for the other fields as well. There is nothing in this case, no width and height works inside the container. One important thing to notice here is this recruiter field is spread into a 2-column layout. So if we go to the recruiter one and see the grid positioning, the columns start at 1, end at 3. That means it will take first and second column. Row is blank, so it won't take anything. If you want to set row as well, let's suppose I set it to 4 and end at 6, you will see that's changed automatically. So if you need, you can do that. Otherwise, it will take your default structure in ascending order how we have set inside the container. Similarly for nodes, if we go, you see grid positioning, column start 2, column end 4, that means 2 and 3, and row start 4, row end 6, that means row 5, 4 and row 5. So it's a 2-row and 2-column structure for the nodes as it's a multi-line. And for our buttons, I have kept it column start 3 and end at 4 because I want to right align them. So that's how you can set. Nothing else we have as such. If you want to see this in detail, I have created video already. I'll provide link in description. You can check that out as well. Now talk about the responsive one. If we see the rows and column property of our grid container, the rows is set to 6 and column is 3. That means it has 6-row structure and 3-column structure for us. Now to turn this into a responsive one, first thing, your app, if you go to the display property, the app layout is by default set to responsive. You can set that to responsive. If you do not have that option, you have fixed option, then you have to turn off these aspect ratio and lock orientations. So that way your app will be full width and responsive in a nature. Now for grid container, first things, if we go to the property, there is layout grid column. It is right now set as fix 3. So what we will do is I'll create a switch case. say app.activeScreen.size, it will return small, medium, large, extra large. And then we will set if it is screen size dot small, then I want to make it one column structure. And if it is screen size dot medium, then I want to make it two column structure. And if it is screen size dot large, then 3, else keep 3 as the default one as well. That's pretty much simple. Save this, publish the app. We'll see how it's look like in real. Refresh, wait for new version to come up, allow, go to the default form, inspect. You will see for mobile screen size, it has created the one column structure, but not all the columns are visible. If you go to the tablet screen size, again, the similar structure we have, but not all column visible. And for large and extra large, we have the similar structure. So all in all, by just putting one property and one switch case here, you will see it's turned into a responsive design, but not fully. For that, we'll have to work with some of the controls. And also for this row property, I'll go to layout grid row, and maybe I'll copy this formula and I'll paste it here. So in the small screen size, we need 12 row structure, because this is the single column structure that we have built. And for medium one, maybe I'll say 7. For large, it is 6, and extra large also it is 6. So that way our row and column is all set. Now if we go to this recruiter one first, and you see that there is a grid positions of column start and column end. If I go to the grid column start, it is set to 1. So I'll paste this formula. What I need here is, if my screen size is large, 1 screen size dot extra large. Also, I just want to make this one. I want to specifically mention this. And if we go to the layout end, it will be like 3 and 3. So whenever we are into a large screen size and extra large screen size, in that case only we'll have the column layout start at 1 and end at 3, else it will be default, means it will pick up the similar structure. And similarly, we have this notes. If we go to this one, what we want, again, if we go to the grid position, if we go to the column start, it's 2. So it will be like 2 for large and extra large. Column end will be 4. For rest of the screen size, it will be the default. And if we go to the layout grid row start 4, let's make it 4. Let's make it 6. That's all. The last one is for the submit and cancel container. Column start 3. And column end 4. Nothing we have in row start and end, so we know we don't need to put that anything there. And if we go to the height property, it is set as parent.height, so we have to change this as well. For this, we'll say if it is small, then keep 1300 pixel as a height. If we say it is medium, let's say 700. Else, do this parent dot height minus 20. I think it will serve for medium and large and extra large. Save this, publish, and our responsive form design is ready. Allow. We'll go to the main form. Now you can see for medium screen size, it's a 2-column structure and all the fields are visible, and we have a vertical scroll as well. If we go to the mobile screen size, it's a single column structure and all the fields are visible the way we want. So now it's fully responsive into different screen size, and that's pretty much easy to build. If you do not have these columns spread into multi-column layout and multi-rows layout, in that case, it will be more easier just by setting the rows and columns and height dynamically. Everything will work fine for you. And that's all for this video. I hope you like this video. If you do like, don't forget to subscribe our channel. Also, I would request you to please join our channel. That will help us grow and create more such videos for you. Thank you so much for watching.